Today I'm bringing you a MSR sniper gameplay on domination on outpost. I don't get any big kill streaks or anything because I just have the support package on, but I felt like it was a pretty good game for using a sniper. I do lead my team, and I did better than any of the other people on the other team. But I'll let you guys watch that. And today, what I want to talk about is, first I want to tell you a story. Sorry, about something that happened to me. Well, I'm recording this on a Thursday, and this happened to me on Monday. And just so you guys know, I am 16 years old, so I'm a sophomore in high school. And basically what happened is I was in the lunch line at school, and I think we were having chicken strips for lunch, and just chicken strips are not very tasty. Just saying, but that's what we were having. And so I was standing there in line, and there was this guy behind me, and he's a senior, but I'm probably about 3 or 4 inches bigger than him, and he's, not to make fun of anybody, I don't want to be mean, but he's like, I don't know, he's not a very strong kid. He's a little bit overweight. Not putting that down, but just saying that if we had gotten in a fight, I probably could have beat him up. Not trying to be cocky, I'm just saying it's fact. But so what happened was I was standing there in line, and like partway through our lunch line, there's just like this kind of these shelves that have just like Doritos and like Lay's chips on them, and he was behind me, and I reached in towards that shelf with my left arm, and I accidentally bumped my elbow against his tray, and I think we get 5, maybe 4 chicken strips as like the meal, and then you also get like a fruit and a cookie and the milk and like an apple juice or whatever. But I caused one of his chicken strips to fall onto the ground, and so I just turned. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I thought, he just said, oh, whatever, because the chicken strip lady, the person giving out chicken strips, was literally about 3 feet behind us. So out this, what I'm about to tell you, just remember that throughout this whole thing, he could have just turned around and been like, I dropped a chicken strip, can I just get another one? And they definitely would have given him one. But so I turned around and apologized, because I really did feel bad. I didn't mean to do that. And what he did was he just freaked out, just went over the top for no reason and started like yelling. He was just like, pick up my chicken strip right now. I know this might sound kind of funny, but it was just like the whole like lunch line just froze and was just staring at us, and he was just freaking out about this chicken strip, and he was just yelling at me to pick it up, and I was just like, dude, like, I'll pick it up, whatever, but I'll just give you one of mine to make up for it. I don't really care. It like I don't know about you guys, but at school, but our lunches cost $2.50, and like the entree is like 50 cents or something like that, or $2 or something like that. So this one chicken strip was about 30 cents worth of his whole $2.50 meal. So obviously it was not a very big deal, and I was willing to sacrifice one chicken strip so that this didn't turn into a scene. And I tried to give him one. I was just like, okay, just take one of mine, and whatever, we'll just go on. But he just wouldn't let that go. He just kept yelling at me to pick up the chicken strip. And by this point, I was getting kind of mad, because I was just like, okay, whatever. And I bent over and I picked it up, and I was just holding it. I was just like, what does he want me to do with it? I mean, I'm just going to throw this away. Does he really want me to put it back on his tray? And he was like, give me it. It's mine. And I was just like, you really want this on your tray with the rest of your food, like a dirty chicken strip? And he was just like, yeah, it's mine. I paid for it. And we hadn't even paid yet, so he hadn't paid for it yet. And so I was just like, okay, dude, whatever. Here you go. And he was like, oh yeah, by the way, you're paying for the rest of my lunch because of that. I was just like, there's no way I'm paying for your whole lunch because I knocked one thing off your tray. There's no way. And I will admit my voice was probably kind of escalating. I was getting kind of mad at this point. But he just refused. And we've been standing here for about a minute now, just going back and forth, and nobody had moved in the whole lunch line. They were just all staring at us. So I was kind of not embarrassed, but I was just like, I don't want this to turn into a scene right in front of everybody, so let's just finish this here, just get it out of the way, be done with it. And so I was just like, dude, I'm not gonna pay for your lunch. It's one chicken strip. I'll just give you one of mine, and then it'll be like it never happened. And then I'll pay for a food that I didn't even have because I'd be missing one. And he still refused. And I was just like, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna even give you one. You can go hungry one chicken strip today. I probably didn't say it like that, but it's probably a little bit more mean. And his response was to just take his hand and just come from below my tray and just hit it up into my shirt. And I was wearing a white shirt, so I had mashed potatoes and I had ketchup for the chicken strips on my tray. So you can imagine, white shirt, that it's ruined. It was all over me. So just so you know also about me, not trying to sound like I'm cool or something, but I started taking taekwondo classes, and I think it was the summer before 8th grade year. So I am now a red belt, which, if you don't know anything about taekwondo, that is one color away from black belt. So which means I'm gonna be a black belt here in April, as long as I pass the test, which hopefully I should be able to. But so I know some stuff. And also, just about taekwondo, if anybody else does taekwondo, I know people that have taken it, and me personally, I used to be kind of embarrassed by it, and I didn't tell any of my friends for the longest time, and I didn't tell anybody. Like, if people heard that I did and they asked me, I'd just kind of deny it like it was a rumor. I don't know why, but up until like the beginning of sophomore year, I was just embarrassed by it for some reason. Now I'm not, because I have learned a lot from it, and I respect other people. Other people that I know, actually, one of my good friends started taking classes after I told him that I was doing it, because it's a good activity for both of us. But back on topic. So basically what I did was I just grabbed his arm, and I'm not exactly sure how to describe this. If you've ever done it before, you'll know what I mean by it. But I just grabbed his wrist, which caused him to drop his tray, and I just really quickly moved behind him, still holding onto his wrist, and pulled his arm back behind him, basically, and I started pushing forward on his neck. If you've ever had that happen to you, ask somebody to do it. Not forcefully, just ask somebody to do it carefully on you. It hurts. It really starts pulling on your shoulder a lot, and if you pull hard enough, I don't know if I would have been strong enough to break it, but I probably could have dislocated or tore something that would have hurt really bad. And so luckily, I mean, in the time I didn't think it was luckily, because I wanted to just beat the shit out of this kid. I guess he is a senior, but I just wanted to beat the shit out of him. But two of the lunch ladies stepped in and stopped us. But so basically what happened, the reason I was thinking about this was because just an hour ago I got home from school and I had to stay after for a detention, which that makes sense. I guess I could have handled it differently, but he also only got one detention. He got the same punishment as me, which, if you ask anybody that was in the line watching what was happening, it was pretty ridiculous, and it really should not have ever escalated to that point. Kind of the point of this story, which was a pretty long story, but this is a pretty long gameplay, I guess. Point of the story was, when people hear that I do taekwondo, one of their first questions to me is always like, oh, so you fight, or you know how to fight, you're a fighter, something about me fighting. And one major thing that I've learned through Taekwondo that I wish more people were aware of is that in Taekwondo you don't learn how to fight, you learn self-defense. You don't learn how to go out and attack other people and bring harm upon people unless it's completely necessary to protect yourself. And in this case, I guess it probably wasn't completely necessary to protect myself, but he was the aggressor. He did, flip my tray up onto me first, and he pushed me a little bit, so I didn't really hurt him that much. Probably his shoulder's probably still pretty sore, but so what I just kind of wanted to mention the difference between fighting and Taekwondo, or not fighting and Taekwondo, fighting and self-defense. If you don't know, the difference between fighting and self-defense is fighting is going out after people for really no other reason than just to harm them, but self-defense is for protecting yourself. And I feel like there's some people in the world that just don't quite understand that. But in this game I was like 50-14, and so yeah, that's my story for today. If you liked it, please leave a like and a comment on what you feel about fighting and self-defense and the whole topic. And if you want to see more like this, subscribe. Okay, see ya.